Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be talking about Kelli Hollis,
Oh, yeah.
a British actress.
Cool.
And we're really excited to dig in and learn more about her career.
Yeah, looking forward to this one.
And we've got her IMDb page and her Wikipedia page open, so we'll be taking a look at those as we go through.
Perfect.
So starting with some basics, Kelli Hollis was born June 29th, 1976,
Okay.
in Leeds, England.
All right.
And that makes her, as of this recording, 48 years old.
Gotcha.
And right off the bat, something that's pretty interesting is that she's listed as not just an actress, but also as a director and a producer.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Multi-talented.
So let's see how that plays into her career.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing how that all kind of fits together.
Yeah, and looking at what she's known for, IMDb lists, Playing the Field, Emmerdale Farm, and Shameless.
Okay.
And Playing the Field was a British TV series about a women's football team.
Interesting.
Yeah, and Kelly played Lizzie Macon in that. And then there's Emmerdale Farm, which I'm sure some people have heard of. This is a long-running soap opera.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it has a surprisingly low rating on IMDb, only 4.8 stars.
Huh. That's pretty low. I wonder what the story is there.
Right.
Yeah, interesting.
So if anyone out there has seen Emmerdale Farm, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
And then on to Shameless.
Yeah.
Probably the one that most people will recognize, at least the name.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a comedy drama. And Kelly had a 6-season run on that show as Yvonne Karib.
Wow, 6 seasons. That's impressive.
Yeah, so that's a long commitment to a single role.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder how that kind of experience shapes an actor,
Oh, for sure.
both professionally and personally.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to think about embodying a character for that long, it must be pretty challenging, but also really rewarding.
Absolutely. And speaking of dedication, both IMDb and Wikipedia mention this like trilogy of productions, all centered around a character named Tina.
Oh, interesting.
So we have Tina Goes Shopping, Tina Takes a Break,
Okay.
and then Mischief Night.
So like a series.
Yeah, it seems like Tina Goes Shopping and Tina Takes a Break were both television films.
Okay.
And then Mischief Night was a theatrical release.
Gotcha.
And what's really interesting is all three were directed by Penny Woolcock.
Huh. Well, that's not a coincidence.
Right.
I wonder what kind of artistic connection they must have had.
Yeah, because when a director and an actor collaborate on multiple projects like that,
Yeah.
especially when it seems like they're following a specific character arc,
For sure.
it just makes you think.
Definitely does.
So moving on from those kind of standout roles,
Yeah.
Kelly's filmography is like all over the place in a really impressive way.
Oh, cool. Like what else has she done?
So many things. We've got Clink, a prison drama where she plays Maggie Sims.
Okay.
Ackley Bridge, a school-based series where she plays Linda.
Mm-hmm.
Even popped up in episodes of Dalziel and Pascoe, that classic detective show.
Nice.
Oh, and I almost forgot Waterloo Road, which is another school drama. And See No Evil, The Moors Murders, which is a TV film dealing with some pretty heavy subject matter.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, talk about range.
It sounds like she's done it all.
Right? Like, wow.
That's really impressive.
So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's take a quick peek at her personal life, courtesy of IMDb.
Go ahead.
So we know that she's 5'4",
Right.
and her daughter's name is Fallon Hollis.
Cool.
And then also on IMDb, it mentions in the Did You Know trivia section that she has 3 younger siblings.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so, you know, family dynamics can be so influential when it comes to careers and creative pursuits and all that.
Oh, for sure. It's especially when it comes to actors. I feel like you can kind of see those influences sometimes.
Yeah.
I wonder if having younger siblings maybe fostered some kind of like leadership or responsibility in her that she carries into her work.
That's a really good point. Yeah, because oftentimes you see artists drawn to projects that speak to their own experiences.
Absolutely.
So that's definitely possible. Yeah, it's that personal connection that can really like fuel a performance
For sure.
and give it that extra depth.
Absolutely. And it doesn't seem like Kelly is slowing down anytime soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she was in the BBC soap opera Doctors as recently as 2020.
Wow.
And get this, she directed and produced a short film called Becoming Better in 2022.
Oh, wow. So she's getting behind the camera. That's amazing.
So it's really cool to see that transition from acting
Yeah.
into directing and producing.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that's not always a seamless transition.
Right.
It takes a lot of drive and
Yeah.
vision.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of suggests that she really wants more creative control.
Mm-hmm.
And she's ready to like shape the narrative, not just inhabit it.
That's so cool. I wonder how that's going to play out in her future projects.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what she does next.
Me too.
And, it's really interesting when you think about how we often put actors on this pedestal.
Yeah.
But when you really dig into their careers, you see that they're just people figuring things out, making choices, and trying to, leave their mark on the world.
Totally. And I think that's what makes these deep dives so interesting.
Yeah.
Is that we get to see that human side of these artists.
Absolutely. And I think that's what makes Kelli Hollis's career so interesting to look at.
Yeah.
Because you see her not just as this actress who embodies characters, but also as this individual who's constantly pushing creative boundaries.
Yeah. It's like she's not just playing the game, she's like changing the rules.
Right. And that willingness to experiment and step outside of her comfort zone.
Yeah.
I think that's what really elevates her career.
I agree.
So now I want to circle back to that Tina trilogy for a minute.
Okay.
Because it's clearly a significant part of her filmography.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm curious to hear your thoughts on what might have drawn both Kelli and Penny Woolcock to this character and story.
Yeah. Like, what is it about Tina that made them want to tell that story across multiple projects?
Yeah. What we know is that Tina goes shopping, Tina takes a break, and Mischief Night all seem to deal with, working class struggles, motherhood, relationships, and just finding humor in difficult situations.
Interesting.
And, these are all themes that resonate with a wide audience.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe Kelli and Penny saw in Tina a character who could embody these, universal experiences in a raw and authentic way.
That makes a lot of sense.
And knowing Kelly's own background growing up in Leeds, it's possible that these stories held a personal significance for her as well.
Yeah, she might have seen reflections of her own community or her own family in Tina's world.
Exactly.
It's amazing how personal experience can really shape a story.
Yeah, and it's those personal connections that can make a performance so powerful.
Absolutely.
So before we totally lose ourselves in the Tina vortex, I want to ask you this.
Okay.
What stands out to you about Kelli Hollis's career so far?
That's a good question.
What's the one thing that makes you go, wow, this woman is a force to be reckoned with?
Honestly, for me, it's just the sheer diversity of her roles.
Yeah.
She can go from playing a tough prison inmate in Clink to a compassionate teacher in Ackley Bridge to a mother trying to navigate family life in those Tina films.
Right.
It's not just about playing different characters. It's about inhabiting all these different worlds and bringing that same level of authenticity to each one.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Right.
She's not afraid to get her hands dirty.
Exactly.
And she's willing to take on these roles that are challenging, even uncomfortable. And that's what makes her so compelling to watch.
It speaks to a certain fearlessness
Yeah.
that I really admire.
And I think her decision to move behind the camera as a director and producer really just solidifies that even further.
Totally. She's saying, I have stories to tell, and I'm not going to wait for someone else to give me permission.
It's so empowering.
It really is.
Makes you wonder what kind of story she's going to choose to tell in this new phase of her career.
Yeah. Is she going to stick with social realism, or is she going to branch out into new genres and formats?
So many possibilities. It's exciting.
It really is.
And, it's funny. We've covered a lot of ground today, but I feel like we've only scratched the surface.
Oh, for sure. There's always more to explore.
There's so much more to explore about Kelli Hollis's career and her contributions to the world of film and television.
Absolutely.
I'm curious to hear what our listeners think.
Yeah. What resonates most with you about Kelli Hollis's career so far?
Is it her range as an actress? Is it her dedication to her craft?
Is it this new step behind the camera?
Yeah, her decision to kind of step into a leadership role.
Or maybe it's something else entirely.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the way she embodies characters so authentically, or the fact that she seems to just constantly be pushing herself to grow and evolve.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Definitely.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to bring up one final point that really struck me during our research.
Okay.
Remember how Kelli played Yvonne Carib in Shameless for 6 seasons?
Oh, yeah. I do. That's quite a long time to play one character.
It's like a case study in law-informed character development.
It really is.
Did playing Yvonne for so long influence her own personal outlook on life? Did it shape her approach to other roles?
That's a great question.
These are questions we can only really speculate on.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating to think about.
Yeah, it makes you wonder about the lines between actor and character. Especially when you're talking about a multi-year commitment like that.
Right. It's almost like living a parallel life.
It really is.
And Shameless isn't exactly a walk in the park.
No, it's not.
Thematically speaking, the show tackles some pretty heavy issues.
Yeah. Poverty, addiction.
Right.
Family dysfunction.
It's got to take a toll, even if it is just acting.
Yeah, you would think so.
You'd think so.
It would be naive to think that an actor can completely separate themselves from those emotions.
Yeah.
Especially when the role is so deeply rooted in real-world struggles.
So maybe playing Yvonne was more than just a job for Kelli.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like a transformative experience that really shaped her as an artist.
Possibly even as a person.
And a human being.
Exactly. And it speaks to the power of storytelling.
Mm.
You know, how it can not only entertain, but also challenge our perspectives.
Yeah.
And leave a lasting impact.
I think that's a great takeaway from this deep dive.
Yeah.
Kelli Hollis isn't just an actress.
Mm-hmm.
She's a storyteller who uses her craft to explore the human experience in all its messy glory.
And whether she's playing a football player or a prison inmate or a single mother struggling to make ends meet,
Yeah.
she brings a depth and authenticity to those roles that is truly remarkable.
Couldn't agree more so to our listeners. If you're looking for an actress who can make you laugh, cry, think,
And everything in between.
I highly recommend checking out Kelli Hollis's work.
You won't be disappointed.
And who knows, you might even discover a new favorite film or TV show.
Or maybe even be inspired to explore a new creative path yourself.
I love that.
Me too.
It's been a pleasure unpacking Kelli's career with you today.
Likewise.
It's always a treat to do a deep dive into the world of a talented and multifaceted artist.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep exploring and keep those deep dives coming.
You got it. And to our listeners, thanks for joining us.
We'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.